Welcome Steve Buddy, head Stanford wrestling coach during Matt's time on the farm, and Matt Gentry.
By the time Matt Gentry graduated from Stanford, he had accomplished just about everything a wrestler can accomplish. His resume is well documented and of course, well earned. Following that magical 42-0 season en route to his NCAA title, Matt was asked often by the press about what that season must have been like. Such a feat is very hard to come by. And Matt repeatedly would use two words over and over. He'd say, "It was very fun and awesome." Now, Coach Jay Jackson and I at the time, we weren't used to that kind of a spotlight either, and we pulled each other aside and said, "I'm not sure he's using words large enough to adequately convey the magnitude of a Stanford education. Do we say something here?" After a few seconds, we realized there were no words. To adequately capture that moment of history that Matt had created, there were no words to describe it. So those words were very well founded. Beyond the obvious accomplishments, Matt was that positive energy on your team that every coach dreams about. He took what is traditionally characterized as an individual sport and made it about the team. A tremendous student with an incredible family from a small town in Oregon, he was just a kid who took a chance on an unproven wrestling program, hoping he could accomplish all of his academic and athletic goals here. For our program, he was truly the Brevin Knight. He was the Andrew Luck, that once-in-a-lifetime athlete that forever changes the trajectory of a program. He answered that question for any skeptic who asked, could you get a Stanford education and be a Stanford national wrestling champion? Because until Matt had accomplished that feat, the answer to that question was certainly uncertain. Wrestlers are a rare breed. If you know one personally, you probably know what I'm talking about. We're kind of an odd bunch. Not just because of our odd training habits or because of our unique weight loss methods. It's just who we are. A lot of it may be due to the fact that we spend most of our lives in dark basements where ventilation is not entirely adequate. We wouldn't have it any other way. But today, Matt, I'm so proud to say that you have made it from that basement into the penthouse, and it is so richly deserved. And once again, you were right. It was fun, and it was completely awesome. Please join me in congratulating arguably the greatest wrestler in Stanford history, Hall of Famer Matt Gentry.
Wow, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Steve. It really is an honor. I feel a little bit like I'm stepping back out on the mat in the spotlight here. I guess first of all, I'd like to congratulate all the other inductees. You know, we had a chance earlier today to talk to some of the freshman student athletes, and just hearing their stories was just incredible. I learned so much about them and have so much respect and admiration for their stories, their journeys, their struggles, and how they overcame them. So I'm just humbled to be included in such an amazing and impressive group. You know, the Honda Award winners and multiple-time team championship, captains and leaders. So congratulations to all the other inductees. I was talking to my wife a little bit earlier in the week. She was saying how impressive this accomplishment is, or, it might be, graduating from Stanford, competing in the Olympics, our family. It's a great honor. And I said, that is a great honor. I had never thought of it that way. You'd think I could get out of diapers for the week, which was, she told me it wasn't that big a deal. So, but in all honesty, it did get me thinking about what does it mean? What does it mean to me to be not necessarily part of the Stanford Hall of Fame, but a Stanford alumnus? And I was fortunate enough to speak to the team yesterday. I worked out with the team, as evidenced by my black eye. I think I still have it, but they proved me wrong. So, and they asked me, like, what does it mean to wear the Stanford singlet, or what do you think of, how do you view it now? And so just tying in, what my wife brought up, but I'm incredibly, I told them of how much I love this school, how much I love this program, and how much respect I have. So love and respect were definitely two of the top things that came to mind. And just to share with them just the importance of when they step out on the playing field, they understand that and value that, because it is a special time in our lives. I don't know if there's any student athletes here today, but it does go by quickly. So I'm very blessed to have had those experiences. The other thing is just pride, I would say, and I think that pride really is something that started right when I stepped on campus. It's such a unique situation here to have such excellence in all aspects of a university. Stanford is a student athlete, and a student does come first. And that was really ultimately the reason I chose Stanford, is the emphasis on academics. Because, as Coach Buddy said, it was an unproven program at that time. I would argue that it's not now, which is very, very special to see. But the pride aspect and seeing all these other people do amazing things in their lives really gave me the belief and confidence that I could do what I wanted to do in my own sport, even though it hadn't necessarily been done. I remember after the NCAAs, people were congratulating me and just saying how amazing it was, and I think I was a little naive about how transformational it was for this program, because I always believed that it was possible and was going to happen, and I always believed that I had the skills to do that, and I credit a lot of that mindset to being an institution that fosters excellence in every aspect. So, that pride in being a Stanford alumnus is just, it's just very special. So I'm very grateful. So of all the things that I felt in the last, since I received the phone call from Earl Koberlein, who is our sport administrator for my time here, I think it's just been an attitude of gratitude. I was the only one stepping on the mat to compete, obviously as a part of a team, but I never would have been there without so many people I didn't even know. But tonight, I'm able to share that. I have some teammates here. In a sport like wrestling, you need workout partners. All these coaches, I've had, my high school, I've had every single coach since high school is in this room today, even through my international career, which is just, I'm just very, taken aback and honored by that. So thank you guys for making that commitment. I know Kerry McCoy flew in from Maryland. He's only going to be here, I think, for 6 hours. And then finally, I just want to thank my family. Actually, I have to start with the Cardinal Club. I'm sorry, because a lot of the people I need to thank, I didn't even know. And they made my success possible by providing opportunities. But when I first came to Stanford, I was actually only on a book scholarship. So to turn down a full ride at another institution took an incredible financial contribution from my parents, who told me not to make a decision based on finances and to follow my heart. So I really want to thank my folks, not only for that, but just for instilling the ethics and the character that made winning possible for me. So thank you. And thank you, everybody.